Welcome back, guys, for another Friday Gamers Log. I have some updates on the games that I've been playing lately. I have some good news on the YouTube side of gaming. I'm going to talk about another game that I think I might eventually get whenever I get some extra cash. So without further ado, let's get this thing started. Alright, last week I talked about Wind Waker. At that point last week I had just beaten the first dungeon. I haven't really put much time into Wind Waker as far as my casual gaming time has gone. I've only made it as far as you see right here, which is the second dungeon. I made it all the way to the end of the second dungeon. The boss I found out how to beat pretty easily. I think that this boss was actually easier than the boss of the first dungeon, to be completely honest. I mean, it's pretty much kind of giving away what you're supposed to do to this boss because you've done a lot of it throughout the dungeon already. Throughout the dungeon you use the boomerang to cut down a lot of vines, so it's kind of giving away what you have to do against the first part of this battle, cut down the tentacles from the ceiling. And it's obvious what to do for the next part, slash the weak point. Every time that I would slash the weak point, I always got caught in the little flower bulb as it closed and took damage, except for probably like 2 times. That's alright though, because there's a lot of grass throughout the room that gave me hearts, so this was a really easy battle. Once I completed the second dungeon, I went ahead and set sail for the next island, which was the Great Fish Island. After I got there and went through the story, I went ahead and saved and quit in Wind Waker. As far as Minish Cap is concerned, last time on our Friday logs I talked about how I had beaten Minish Cap, but I still had some stuff to do, like collecting figurines. Well, I got all the figurines now, and trust me, it took forever. I mean, it took a long time. I had to farm for tons of money and buy lots of seashells. Seashells don't come cheap at 200 rubies for 30 of them. It got to the point where I could only get maybe 1 or 2 figurines per set of 999 rubies that I would spend on seashells. But I did get all the figurines at last, and I'm happy that I did. Once I got all the figurines, it unlocked this shop. There's a heart piece right here, and the 3 chests had 200 rubies each in them. This phonograph up here is pretty much like a sound test for this game. You can listen to different musics, which is pretty cool. I would have rather got something different than money from the 3 treasure chests, though, but that's alright, I guess. I mean, I guess they're just kind of trying to pay you back for all the money you had to spend on seashells. As soon as I got done with the figurines, I was pretty much done. My patience had been shot with Minish Cap. I was ready to have the rest of the secrets done, so I caved into a guide and looked up where I could fuse Kenstones at, because I got tired of wandering around not getting anywhere, trying to figure out who I had to fuse with. I know for a fact that I had visited the Minish here in the Minish village. Wow, can't hardly talk. But he didn't fuse with me at the time. But he did this time and opened up a spot of Vale Falls that had a piece of heart, and over here it had 50 rubies. So that was nice. Then you could fuse again with that same Minish here in the Minish village. And this time it opened up a spot at Lake Helia. I knew something was going to happen at this spot in Lake Helia. I had my suspicions about it because I had seen the house but never seen any way to get to the house that it unlocked. But I traveled to that house and I wound up getting a full heart container, which caught me off guard. I would have expected like a piece of heart, but a full heart container is really nice. So after I got done with that, I set out to fuse my final Kenstone, which was with a Deku Scrub here in the Minish Woods. And I could have sworn that I had tried to fuse with this Deku Scrub as well, and he never wanted to, but whatever. The fact that he did now is pretty nice. He opened up a spot at Castor Wilds, I believe is what this swamp area is called. But anyway, it unlocked a little spot here at the Castor Wilds. Yeah, Castor Wilds. So I obviously headed there, and my final Kenstone fusing reward was another Kenstone. Alright. I also used a guide to help me figure out the locations for the last couple of pieces of heart. The guides were kind of annoying to read because the people that wrote them had their directions kind of mixed up. Like they would say, go northwest to this area, but I'd actually have to go northeast. Some of the guides even had their lefts and rights mixed up, so it was kind of annoying to read. But it wasn't too hard, and I managed to figure out where the last pieces of heart were at. I knew that one of them was going to be inside of a dungeon, and I was right. Here in the Palace on the Skies. I can't believe I didn't remember seeing this one underneath the gate. But I managed to get everything in Minish Cap, and I've completed that now. As far as Oracle of Ages is concerned, I think I've put more time into Oracle of Ages Link's story than I have any other Zelda this week. I completed Dungeon 4, the Skull Dungeon, Dungeon 5, the Crown Dungeon, and Dungeon 6, the Mermaid's Cave. I also went ahead and fought Vern for the first time at Ambi's Castle. I got Vern out of Nehru's body, but Vern possessed Queen Ambi's body. And then Nehru got us out of there, story and whatnot. I also got quite a few passwords for the linked story here in Ages. I seen that Great Fairy back there in Fairy's Woods in Ages. She gave me a password and told me to go behind a waterfall here in the Temple of Seasons. Which I did, and I met up with another Great Fairy who gave me a ring. Which I immediately took to Vasu and had it appraised. Wound up being a ring that recovers hearts. I bet it does it really slowly though. I haven't used it yet though. As soon as I completed the 4th dungeon, I used a Gale Seed and came back here. That's how I met up with this person who gave me another password. That person told me to dig behind the clock shop here in Holodrum's Horon Village here in Seasons. I met up with this old man as soon as I found that location who proposed the challenge. He said to defeat all the enemies in this room in 30 seconds. I failed the first time, but I succeeded the second time because I used Pegasus Seeds to help me move around faster. I think I beat it in 21 seconds, which I wasn't really going for no record time or anything. I was just trying to beat it, so I didn't really care about like how quickly I did it, just so long as I succeeded. After I completed this, I got the Master Sword here in Oracle of Seasons, which became the Noble Sword once I brought it over to Oracle of Ages, because I didn't have the Noble Sword yet in Oracle of Ages. Now if I get what would have normally been the Noble Sword in Ages, it'll now be the Master Sword. Here on Rolling Ridge, I found a lot of Subrosian people who gave me a lot of passwords. This one told me to go see his brother, I believe. His brother proposed a challenge as well, told me to cut all the grass in his room with the boomerang with just 3 throws, which I completed the first try. Not like that's anything special. I actually had a lot of fun with this little challenge here. I like using the magical boomerang in this game. So yeah, that was a pretty easy but fun challenge to do. And as soon as I completed this little challenge here, I got Bombchus, which is pretty nice, but I don't really use Bombchus that much in any of the Zeldas. I found another Subrosian here on Rolling Ridge, who gave me a password to give to the Master Smithy in Subrosia and Oracle of Seasons. Upon giving the Smithy the password and everything, I got the Mirror Sword, or Mirror Shield. And which became the Iron Shield once I brought it over to Ages. Then yet again here on Rolling Ridge I got another password for the Begoron in Oracle of Seasons. Upon giving the password to the Begoron, I got the Begoron Sword, which was still the Begoron Sword once I brought it over to Ages. And yeah, of course I went and seen the Oracle of Secrets herself, Aurora. Brought all the stuff over, got the Noble Sword, got Bombchus, got the Begoron Sword, and the Iron Shield. Gotta say, I really like the password system and how the Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages connect like they do. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, that was it for Oracle of Ages so far. I put quite a bit of time into it. I also went ahead and decided to play the single player mode and the Four Swords Anniversary Edition on my DS. Gotta say, as I was playing through it, I did beat it. I beat the little intro dungeon area, as well as the forest, ice, and fire dungeons, which then it unlocked the Wind Palace, and I fought Vaati and beat him. Pretty short game, but I gotta say, as I was playing through it, I could really tell that this game was meant to be multiplayer. I mean, that was obvious and everything, and don't get me wrong, I'm really thankful to Nintendo for making a single player mode. That way I can play it any time that I want to. But I think it would have been a lot more fun if I had a friend to play through it with. So yeah, I'll do it sometime or another with a friend, but I just wanted to go and play it and see what it was like. I enjoyed it, but like I said, I guarantee that I would have a lot more fun if I played through it with a friend. Once I beat the main game, it opened up a little extra area called the Realm of Memories. It's a really cool area that has sections based off of past games. Like, for instance, you can see right here, it has an area based off of A Link to the Past. It also has an area based off of Link's Awakening, and an area based off of the original Legend of Zelda, which I thought was really, really cool because each of these three games has sort of a first-time story for me. A Link to the Past was the first Zelda that I ever owned and beat. Link's Awakening was the first portable Zelda that I ever played, owned, and beat. And the original Legend of Zelda on the NES was the very first Zelda that I ever played. So it's kind of cool that those three games had areas remade for Four Swords. At least for me, I think that that's pretty cool. I've completed the A Link to the Past one and the Link's Awakening area, but I haven't beaten the original Legend of Zelda Four Swords area yet. I will get to that eventually, though. Coming up for YouTube videos this week, we're going to be finishing off our final game of baseball, which will be our home run derby. We also finally got caught back up to where we were on Final Fantasy IV Solo Cecil. I'm level 62 now. Right now, basically what I'm doing is leveling up. I'm going to level up probably about another 10 to 15 levels before we can move on. Maybe a little more than that, but I hope not. So once we get leveled up to where we can finally progress, I'll be completing this run and I'll be posting the final episodes of that throughout this week. So at long last we'll have all unfinished runs finished. As far as games that I'd like to buy, another game that I think that I would like to get somewhere down the line, probably this game right here called Cannon Spike. It's for the Sega Dreamcast. Really, the only reason why I really want to get it is because Classic Mega Man is a playable character in it. But you can also play as people like Cammy from Street Fighter, which is also cool. It's kind of hard to explain what you do in Cannon Spike. It looks like you just kind of go around blowing stuff up and whatnot. I don't really know a story for it or anything. I've just seen a couple of gameplay videos for it, that's about it. But yeah, the biggest reason why I want to get it is because Classic Mega Man is a playable character in it. And Mega Man is my favorite video game icon, so, you know, I'd like to have this game for him. But other than that, I probably wouldn't get it. Really, I don't have any games for my Sega Dreamcast that I play, so that'd be nice to have a game that would actually make me want to hook my Dreamcast up for once. All the games I got for Dreamcast I also got on other systems, so I'd rather just play whatever Dreamcast game I have on another system on the other system, because I also have better games. But that's pretty much been it for this week's gaming. It's, again, mostly been mainly Zelda. Made quite a bit of progress in most games except for Wind Waker. I'm going to try to put more time into Wind Waker. I also started a file on Four Swords Adventures, but unfortunately I forgot to take my memory card to my friend's house, so all of the data is saved on his memory card, so I wasn't able to show any footage this week. But I'll see if I can't copy the data from his memory card to my memory card, and I'll give y'all some footage of that next week. If we can't copy the data for some reason or another, I'll just borrow his memory card. I'm sure that he won't mind. But whatever the case, I'll give you some footage of Four Swords Adventures next Friday. But like I said, keep an eye out this coming week for our final game of baseball and the last episodes of Final Fantasy IV Solo Cecil. We'll have all that finished and everything. And well, guys, that is it for today's Friday Gamer Log. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next Friday.